The question is, briefly speaking, how to apply this Noble Eightfold Path in your practice of meditation or insight meditation of Vipassanā power. That we've been all the time emphasizing and explaining in many ways from many aspects in our talks and answer to the question. Noble Eightfold Path. That is the Buddha mentioned in the first discourse, which we call Turning Out of Wheel, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. The very first discourse he delivered after attaining enlightenment. And here he expounded the Four Noble Truths. Four Noble Truths, as now I have explained in this talk. Noble truth of suffering, noble truth of the cause of suffering, noble truth of the cessation of suffering. And the fourth is the noble truth of the path that leads to cessation of suffering, and which means the Noble Eightfold Path. So Noble Eightfold Path, let us repeat again. It is worth noting. It begins with Sammaditthi. Sammaditthi means right view or right understanding. The number two is Samma Sankappa. It is translated as right thought or right inclination of the mind. This is the second. The third is Sammavaca, right speech. Then the fourth is Sammakamanta, right action. And the fifth is Samma Ajiva, right livelihood. So this is the theoretical layout, theoretical teaching of Noble Eightfold Path. For practical purposes, these Eightfold Factors can be grouped into three. Sammavaca, right speech, Sammakamanta, right action, and Samma Ajiva, right livelihood. This is categorized as Sila Magika. Sila, as you all know, is a morality or moral conduct. So, in a practical practice, before you start this insight meditation of Vipassanā Bhavana, so it emphasizes that you need to purify your moral conduct. You must practice first this Sila Magika to purify your moral virtue. Without that moral purity, you cannot develop concentration. Without concentration, you cannot develop wisdom. So the basic practice in any meditation, the first emphasis is to purify your moral conduct. So that is why we take pains every morning, early morning, before you begin the day. We administer in a retreat 8 precepts. But in worldly life, if you can observe strictly the 5 precepts, that is enough for this purification of conduct or Sila Magika. So in this Sila group or morality group, 3 factors. Sammavaca, right speech means you must avoid 4 wrong speech. So 4 wrong speech is headed by Musavara, false speech or telling lies. And its variants or it rooted in this Musavara. Another 3 is Vipassanā Vaca. Vipassanā Vaca means slandering or backbiting. The speech that can cause disharmony among associates like relatives or friends. So that kind of speech is we call Vipassanā vacha, slandering. Then Prusa vacha. Prusa vacha is harsh or abusive language, using uncultured, filthy, abusive language. So that do come under this Musavada. Then the next is Sampapala vacha, frivolous talk. So together four: Musavada, telling lies; Vipassanā vacha, slandering or backbiting; then Prusa vacha, harsh or abusive language; and Sampapala vacha, frivolous talk. So when you observe five precepts, Musavada, Viramani, Sikhabara, Samadhiyami. Musavada means all these four kinds of speech, which are called Mecha vacha, wrong way of speaking or wrong speech. So a person who's bent on striving spiritual development must observe strictly this precept of Musavada, so that it becomes Sama vacha, right speech. So any speech that is not rooted in these four evil speech is regarded as Sama vacha. Then the second factor in this Sila group is Sama Kamanta. Vipassanā Kamanta means right action. So right action means what? We must avoid wrong actions. Wrong actions are prescribed in these five precepts. The first one is Panatipata Viramani, killing or harming living beings. The first precept is, that is Panatipata Viramani. Then number two, Adena Dana Viramani, meaning procuring other people's property unethically and illegally. In short, stealing. So killing, stealing. And the third is Kamisu Mecha Chara Viramani. And that I have often mentioned, usually translated as sexual misconduct. Because out of the five senses, this sexual passion is the strongest and it points to sex. Actually, Kamesu Mecha Chara. Kama means all sense perversions and sense pleasure. So, sensuous, the correct translation is sensual misconduct. So these three are Mecha, Kama, the wrong practices or wrong actions. So by abstaining from that, by observing precept, five precepts, you have already purified this moral virtue, which we call Sama Kama, the right action. If you avoid three wrong actions or evil actions, so your action becomes right action. Then the third factor in this Sila group is Sama Ajiva. Pariva Sama Ajiva means right livelihood. To sustain our life, we have to earn a living. But that living must be righteous or proper. So how? So if you observe these four evil speech, abstain four evil speech, three evil actions, bodily actions, so your livelihood can be taken as Sama Ajiva. More specifically, Buddha prescribed for all Buddhists to to avoid the livelihood, especially the 5 livelihoods, like trading in human beings. Nowadays, all over the world, it is rampant. Trading of human beings. Then breeding animals for slaughter. Then trading in arms and ammunition or destructive weapons. Then trading in poisons. Then trading in these narcotic drugs or any drugs that can confuse the mind. Nowadays, not only narcotics or stimulant drugs, narcotic drugs, hallucinogens, and so on. So anything that can confuse the mind. Ordinarily, worldly being who has not developed mental culture or mental practice, the mind is already deluded, and if one uses alcoholic intoxications or these drugs, then one will be more confused and one will go astray into evil ways. So these 5 traits are regarded as Miccha Ajiva, and as of one who's bent on pristine purity of one's conduct should avoid it. The next 3 group can be classified together as Samadhi group, because after purifying this moral conduct by observing these 5 precepts or 8 precepts, or the Samaneras and Bhikkhus, their corresponding disciplinary rules. So, after purifying one's moral conduct or sila, then one has to develop concentration. So to develop concentration comes 3 factors. The first one is Samma Vayama. Pali word Samma Vayama means right effort. You must make right effort. Then, after establishing right effort, for what? To be mindful. Samma Sati, right mindfulness. And when by right effort, when you practice right mindfulness, then it will be followed by right concentration, Samma Samadhi. So these 3 factors in this Noble Eightfold Path constitute Samadhi Magga. So how to develop these 3 factors of Samadhi group? The first one, Samma Vayama, right effort. What is meant by right effort? Right effort means you must make effort in 4 ways. 1, regarding wholesome states. There are wholesome mental states. If not yet arisen in you, you must make effort to arouse these wholesome states of mind. And if already aroused wholesome states, you must preserve it and make it grow. And this is the second effort you must make regarding with wholesome states. The next 2 is regarding unwholesome mental states. Unwholesome mental states that has arisen must be suppressed and abandoned. A meditator must make effort to abandon the unwholesome state that has already arisen. That is the 3rd effort. Then the 4th effort is one must make effort these unwholesome states that has not arisen, not to arise in one's mental stream. So these are the 4 efforts. It is also called Samapadana and Bodhipagya Dhamma. These are also enlightenment fighters. So regarding wholesome states 2, unwholesome states 2. So 4 efforts. These efforts Buddhas explain as Samma Vayama, or right effort you have to make. So here one has to know what mental states are wholesome and what mental states are unwholesome. And practical meditation, unwholesome mental states means 5 nivaranas. Nivarana, pariva nivarana means hindrances or impediments or obstructions that obstruct one's progress in meditation. These are 5, and that too we have many times explained in these talks. One is kamicchanda nivarana, sensual passion, passionate thoughts while meditating can arise. These are unwholesome mental states. Kamicchanda nivarana, the first one. Second is vyabhada nivarana. Vyabhada means ill will, anger, or hatred. So while meditating, these things also arise. And these are unwholesome mental states. The first one is kamicchanda nivarana. Second is vyabhada nivarana. The third is thina metta nivarana. Thina metta means sloth and torpor. That do every meditator encounter at the beginning of the practice. Sloth and torpor. And the fourth is Odeja Gogoja, restlessness and remorse. That common encounter at the beginning of the. And the fifth one is Vichikeja Nivarana. Vichikeja means skeptical doubt. So these are 5 unwholesome states. If they have not arisen, one must make effort to prevent them from arising. If they have already arisen, a meditator must make effort to eliminate or to abandon them. So these are the Samapadana, true Samapadana, or Samavayama. Then what are the wholesome states that our meditators must make effort to develop or to grow? Wholesome mental states in practical meditation means realization of the insight knowledge, Vipassanā jnana, that we be emphasizing all the time for you all to investigate as Dhamma Vichaya. 1. Nama Rupa Pariccheda jnana, the distinguishing knowledge that can discern the difference between mind and matter, Nama and Rupa. And the second is Paccaya Parikaha jnana, the distinguishing knowledge between cause and effect. You all are asked to note all the intention before any action. Like from sitting, if you want to change into walking meditation, intending to get up, and then you get up and getting up. Intention to get up is the cause, and this body getting up is the result, cause and effect. So before walking, you don't immediately walk. If you watch patiently your mind, the desire to walk will arise. Then you started stepping. So the desire or the intention to walk is the cause. The movement of the foot or the body is the result. So to clearly discern these two is what we call Paccaya Parikaha jnana, the distinguishing knowledge between cause and effect. These are all wholesome states. Not only wholesome, it is going to lead you to supramundane attainment of path and fruition, knowledge and nibbana. These must be developed, if not yet developed, and you, even if developed, you must maintain it, preserve it, and make it grow. That is the two Samma Vayama, two efforts, noble efforts what our meditators have to make. So two efforts in the unwholesome state to suppress and to abandon, and two efforts in the wholesome states to develop and to grow. So these are four efforts one has to make, and that you fulfill in the Noble Eightfold Path, Samma Vayama. So Namarupa Prekshita Jnana, Pacchaya Prekha Jnana. And I've many times explained in detail how to see the three phases in any phenomena. Like when you're noting rising, there is a beginning to rise, then actual rising, and the stop. Beginning to rise is upada, beginning. Then static movement, thiti. Then it has to stop. The rising cannot continue forever. The stopping means dissolution phase, bhanga. Upada, thiti, bhanga. So also when it begins to fall, beginning is upada, actual falling is thiti. Then when it stopped or dissolved, it is bhanga. And realizing these three phases of a phenomena is what we call Vipassanā jnana. The realization of a trial of a moment. And these are the wholesome states. If not yet developed in one's meditation, one must make effort to develop. If you have already developed, you must maintain it, preserve it, and make it grow. So that is the meaning of Samma Vayama and these Noble Eightfold Path. Four efforts. It is also called Sammapadana and Bodhipakkhiyata. Then the second factor in this Samadhi group is Sammasati. That is what our meditators are practicing here. Buddha elaborated into four foundations of mindfulness meditation. Kaya-nupassana satipatthana, contemplation on bodily phenomena, like in sitting meditation, rising, falling, or sitting, touching, and walking meditation, noting of the steps. All these are Kaya-nupassana. Then second foundation, Vedana-nupassana satipatthana. Pariva Vedana means sensation of feelings, like aches, pains, tingling, numbness, itchiness, etc. So when one is noting these feelings and sensations, that is Vedana-nupassana satipatthana. Then the third is Citta-nupassana satipatthana. Citta means mind. Wandering thoughts, stray thoughts, remembering about the past, planning about the future, etc. Or noting out these mind and mental factors is Citta-nupassana satipatthana. Contemplation on the mind, the third group. And the fourth comes collectively, all the rest are termed as Dhamma-nupassana satipatthana. This word Dhamma has very wide implications. So in actual practice, Dhamma-nupassana is achieved if you can observe or make a mental note of all the objects that arise through the six sense doors. Like with the eye, when you see, noting, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, and thoughts, that amounts to Dhamma-nupassana satipatthana. So contemplating on these four foundations of mindfulness is you are achieving this Sammasati. So the third factor in this Samadhi group is Samma Samadhi, or right concentration. Right concentration means when you can keep incessant mindfulness, when the mind, noting mind, and the object noted are concurrent means coming together, like actual rising and noting mind, actual falling and noting mind, actual stepping and noting mind. When they come in successive concurrent noting in the object. Then that is, we call in this Vipassanā Bhavana, Khanika Samadhi, momentary concentration. So if you can establish momentary concentration, you have achieved Samma Samadhi. So these three fighters are categorized as Samadhi Magga. Then the remaining two fighters, Samadhi and Samma Sankappa. If you are these two groups, Sila group 3 and Samadhi group 3, 6 fighters are well established. This Samadhi is achieved as a result. Samadhi means right view or right understanding. Meaning, we are conditioned from time immemorial, from unforeseeable future. We live in the conventional world. We are instinctively or habitually used to identifying or verifying everything that comes into contact with our senses in a conventional sense. And by developing these Sila Magga and Samadhi Magga, then if you can change your view or understanding into Paramatha Dhamma or ultimate reality, instead of conventional usages, man, woman, etc. If you can identify as Nama and Rupa, what is mind and the matter, what are the 5 aggregates, how are these arising and passing away. And that is what we call Samadhi, the right view. The right view means the view or the understanding and the right way. Because, as you all know, conventional way is only Panyati is the name, and ultimate reality, these are not true. These are actually perversions. In Pali we call Vipassanā. What is impermanent, we take it as permanent. What is pain, we take it pleasure. What is ugly, we take it as beautiful. These are we call perversions or Vipassanā. So if you can see these phenomena, whether mind or matter, as they really are, that is the meaning of Samadhi, right view or right understanding. Then the last one, the Samma Sankappa, right thought. Right thought means here our noble meditators are having the right thought to come to this retreat. Getting a holiday instead of going, enjoying sense pleasure. You all inclined to come and practice meditation, to learn Dhamma here. And that is not only that, it's very noble thought or noble inclination of the mind. But for this Samma Sankappa, Buddha recommended 3 thoughts. One is Nekkhamma Sankappa. Nekkhamma Sankappa means renunciation, renouncing, or in simple word, commonly called as letting go. You're letting go of all these sense pleasures by coming to this retreat, observing Sila. Even you had to let go 1 meal in the evening, not adorning yourself with cosmetics, listening to music or entertainment shows. All these sense pleasures you are letting go. That is the practicing of Nekkhamma, renunciation. So the thought of renouncing these sense pleasure is the Samma Sankappa, right thought. And the second is Abhyavada Sankappa. Abhyavada means to suppress or to abandon ill will or anger, meaning developing metta or loving kindness in your heart. And the third Buddha prescribed is Avihimsa Sankappa. Avihimsa means no non-violence or non-harming, meaning developing karuna or compassion in your heart. And these three noble thoughts are Samma Sankappa. So that completes the Eightfold path. Our meditators are developing to gain spiritual achievement. Idame Bonya Nibbanasa Pachayo Hodu Idame Bonya Nyadinang Hodu Sukhita Hondu Nyadayo Imano Bonya Bhaga Sabha Sadhana Dema Sa. May you all be happy. May you all be healthy. May you all be free from suffering. May you all attain eternal peace or Nibbana in the shortest possible time. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.